Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Behroz Daruwala, and I'm the Global Subcommittee Chair for WE, that stands for Women Entrepreneur of the International Board of WZCC. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on the awards night of World Zarathustra Chamber of Commerce. As some of you may be aware, World Zarathustra Chamber of Commerce was born, formalized, in the year 2000 in Houston, Texas. Houston used to be my hometown, and I have firsthand witnessed a lot of work that was put in years before the formation of WZCC. Of course, it was all done in the Zarathustra style with a lot of fun and food. However, I want to assure you that the results were magnificent as the vision, objective, expertise, and hard work of the founding members have resulted in creating this August World Zarathustra Chamber of Commerce, which, believe me, is a force to be reckoned with, especially during this time and environment that we all live in. It's always good to meet and catch up with the WZCC community, and Bangalore is a great place to be in at this time of the year, though a little cold for me. And under such vibrant atmosphere, let's begin our evening. I'm sure most of you in the audience are members of the Chamber of Commerce or other parts or other chambers of commerce, as there are numerous chambers in every city in all the countries. Compared to other chambers, WZCC may be young and small in numbers. However, Zarathustra community has always been acclaimed as a marvel, as it functions and works with the right wisdom, intelligence, and ability to improve and impact the life of all our community members. WZC has been fortunate to be led by stalwarts, one after the other, as presidents, who have endeavored and stretched the limits and brought out the best in our community. As most of you know, we've gathered here today to celebrate the success of our community members. At the inception of this organization, that's the World Zarathustra Chamber of Commerce, it was decided to institute global awards to recognize and acknowledge the excellent work done by our community members. It has been proven time and again that Zarathustra community is by and large the only community which, though small in numbers, has contributed tremendously to humanity at large. Our contributions as Zarathustris have affected the world from atom to infinite, and therefore it's not surprising that year after year we come across Zarathustris who make us proud to be alive in this day and age. WZCC has established many categories for award, and this year we will celebrate 3 such categories. However, before I announce the awards, let me explain briefly the process behind this exercise. The process is very simple. Nominees are judged by independent judges who are not normally on the board of directors, nor very often do they know each other, or do they know that this one is a judge and that one is a judge. In fact, our International Board of Directors appoint these judges from across 5 continents and just send them the nominations. The judges do their own due diligence independently. They send their results to our Bombay office, where our CEO compiles the results, and that's where the winner is declared. The results are received by the global president, then announced at the international board, and voila, we are here today to celebrate it. Any member of this august body, that's WZCC, can nominate a suitable candidate. However, the judges have to ensure they take the following criteria into consideration when they select the awardee. global presence, number one, of the awardee and his work, involvement in the World Zarathustra Chamber of Commerce, contribution of time and effort towards various causes, commitment to the cause, involvement in various trades and commerce organizations, and above all, proven success in profession and business. The first category for this year is the Outstanding Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And this award goes to Mr. Feroz Bhandara. Feroz was born and brought up in Lahore, Pakistan, where his illustrious family has been established since 1860. His family owned and operated wine shops. And after independence, his father purchased a brewery company from Rawalpindi from the departing British Army and British shareholders. It was in this brewery that Feroz started work as a teenager, and the seed of entrepreneurship were germinated. In 1977, when prohibition was established in Pakistan and business was going south, Feroz left Pakistan to forge his own path in USA. Although Feroz had studied BS engineering and had done his MBA from University of Wisconsin and Stanford, he started his path in USA with humble beginnings as an immigrant engineer with Ford Motor and Ford Aerospace. Today, Feroz owns Ardenwood Group, a real estate investment company that owns and manages over 1 million square feet of commercial buildings and over 500 apartment units. Friends, I have known personally Feroz for over 25 years when I stayed in Houston. And believe me, I have seen his expertise firsthand to successfully converting sick and troubled businesses into profitable ventures with his ingenuity and creativity. Let me give you some example. Some years ago, he bought a troubled apartment complex of about 432 units, which was crime-ridden and suffering from very low occupancy because it was full of people who used drugs, etc., etc. Recognizing this criteria, Feroz turned the property around by incorporating security. Not just that, he made it a point to support education institutions around it, religious organizations around it, and all the surrounding areas, and he actually managed to turn it into a happy, secure, family-oriented Desi village. Today, I can say with pride, families from India, Pakistan, and Southeast Asia very happily live there like one big family, feeling very secure and safe. In spite of all this going on in his life, Feroz always found time to mingle and take part in the community events. He not only sponsored Zarathustra events, but also recognized their needs and often stepped in to help individuals in need. He also built the Zarathustra Heritage and Cultural Center in Houston and recently donated $1.2 million to North America's first Atashkadeh in Houston. The Bhandara philanthropy does not only rest in Houston, but even extends to New York and other cities in USA. But I must admit, all this Feroz could not have done alone. I know for sure that while he is busy establishing his business, his friend, philosopher, and guide, and by that I mean his better half, Shehnaz, his wife, has been there shoulder to shoulder with him and has assisted in identifying the need of the community. Friendly and down to earth, Shehnaz is a favorite with women and children in Houston, which is rare, and I think she deserves some recognition too. I'm sure she had a big hand in establishing Firoz and Shehnaz Bandara Charitable Trust to identify the needs of the Zartustis around the world. The interest from the corpus of nearly 265 million rupees looks after education and medical needs of the community and Parsi institutions around the world. I can go on and on and on, but I don't have the luxury of the time. And before we have another plane coming by, I feel strong to let you know. I just feel that the power and maturity of our community member should not be measured by age or collective wealth of a person. According to me, the power of the community member should be ascertained by his ability to identify the needs of the community and his willingness to step in and bridge the gap. This has been accomplished by Firoz as an entrepreneur. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for WZCC Entrepreneur of the Year, Firoz Bandara. May I request Dr. Garland to come over and hand him over.
Behrouz, thank you for the great introduction. Honored Chief Guest, Chairman Davar, event organizers and attendees of the WZCC Bangalore Global Conference. I am truly deeply touched, honored, and humbled to receive this recognition. It is an even greater honor to be placed in such distinguished ranks as those of the past and present honorees, all of whom have made important contributions in their respective areas. A major subject of this conference was how to encourage entrepreneurs amongst the Zartushti community. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? In my experience, it means having a vision, goals, and a master plan for life. Then staying the course and being steadfast to pursue one's plan. At times, life can deal surprises and setbacks. An entrepreneur should remain flexible in one's strategy and adapt to changed conditions. Necessity sometimes brings out the best solutions. It helps those who think outside the box. Success comes from being a quick study and keeping up with new ideas. A successful entrepreneur takes calculated risk, and risk-taking begets success. And there is nothing like success. Success breeds success. To be successful, one should recognize that our co-workers, business partners, and employees are a valuable resource. A good entrepreneur always involves this intimate group to help mold the company's decisions. My company owes much to the hard work, loyalty, and dedication of these associates. And in return, it is important for me to show reward these employees with bonuses and stock options. I'm also blessed with the trust and support of my wife and family. Shehnaz, thank you for your support. Since we have been discussing entrepreneurship, one has to take into account favorable business conditions. Personally, I moved from scenic and beautiful California with the nice weather to the hot and humid destination of Houston. Why? Texas and the Houston area remains an easy place to start a business with minimal red tape, less stifling rules and regulations. The government is friendly and there is no state income tax, which is a bonus. While in Houston, I have devoted time and energy to developing and nurturing relationships of trust with bankers, attorneys, accountants, engineers, and other professionals. These relationships have been crucial to guiding the success of my company. Finally, an entrepreneur excuse me. Finally, I'm at the end. An entrepreneur has to be involved with the larger community. By that I mean politics. After a certain point in the growth of my business, it became inevitable to become politically involved, and this helped a great deal. I serve on 4 different government boards dealing with economic development, urban beautification, and I chair a public safety board that sets priorities and for the police department. This community service has allowed me to meet important policymakers, and it has given me a seat at the table where decisions are made. Living a legacy-driven life, one has to consider what are we leaving behind for our children, Parsi community, and the whole community at large. In closing, I once again sincerely thank you all for this honor. This recognition and award from my Zartushti community means a lot to me. In return, being able to serve my community gives me great satisfaction. Thank you.
The award is for the Professional of the Year. Friends, people often harbor wrong concepts about the World Zartushti Chamber of Commerce. They feel that the chamber is only meant for entrepreneurs. That is definitely not true. Professionals play a very important role in WZCC, and that is why we make it a point to recognize the remarkable professionals in our community, and that is what the next award is all about, Outstanding Professional of the Year. I personally feel that when professionals turn into entrepreneurs, they do a damn good job of their professions and the vocation, and the community gets a double prize. This year, we have amongst us a remarkable professional. Bangalore's very old Dr. Farzan Nariman, engineer. Farzan is a pharmaceutical scientist and healthcare entrepreneur based in Bangalore, India. So I'm afraid you'll have to tolerate my carrying colds to Newcastle, but we do have people around the world who need to know something about him. A pharmacist in training, he received his PhD in pharmaceutical sciences from the University of South Carolina. Farzan also attended the 3-tier program in the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, IIM, and senior management programs in France, business school in UK, and other universities in North Carolina. As pharmaceutical scientist, he has published over 20 research papers and received research grant from the National Institute of Health. He was given a Young Investigators Award from the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy in 1991 and has lectured at universities around the world, including IIM, Ahmedabad, University of Cambridge, and University of Cincinnati, etc., etc. Farzan started the international clinical research industry in India and was the chairman and CEO of Quintiles India from 97 to 2011. He also served on the board in Southeast Asia for over 5 years and headed the clinical research businesses in Australia, China, India, and Singapore. He established the Let's Send Do It LLC, a joint venture between Quinstyle and Thermo Fisher Scientific, which became the world leader in the field of specialized software for pharmaceutical research. However, as often is in the case of professionals, Farzan wanted his own and became an independent entrepreneur 4 years ago and has co-founded 2 companies. The first one is Medwell Ventures, which is also known very often as Nightingales. This company has over 1,000 people, 11 branches in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, and offers healthcare services such as physiotherapy, nursing, chronic disease management, etc. Medwell has raised 35 million from Fidelity and Mahindra Partners, and Farzan serves as a co-founder and joint chairman of the company. The second he established is PsyCare Hospital. This hospital some of us visited earlier and have all come back with very, very good reports and in awe. This hospital is India's only organ-based cancer hospital and is super specialized in various surgeries, radiation techniques, and chemotherapy. This flagship project of nearly 150-bed hospital was launched a little over a year ago in Bangalore and has already grown into 250 strong employees in Bangalore. Farzan's plan is to build this kind of network hospitals all over India. Farzan currently serves on the board of public limited company Sun Pharma Advanced Research Company, in addition to being a director of Medwell Ventures and SiteCare Hospitals. He's also been very active in Bangalore's startup ecosystem and serves the Bangalore community very well. I think Bangalore community is very fortunate to have this professional turned entrepreneur living amongst their mates. So, for this extraordinary devotion in the field of science, medical, and healthcare, for his noble pursuit to facilitate and help people in their times of need for medical assistance, and for his contribution in developing, setting up, and enhancing institutions of medical excellence, I request you guys put your hands together for the Professional of the Year, Dr. Farzan Engineer. Dr. Garland, may I request you?
Good evening again. I had the opportunity to tell the story about our cancer hospital yesterday, and I wasn't expecting to speak today, so I'll maybe share a couple of random thoughts. And maybe talk about a couple of small companies that we mentored in Bangalore. I would like to say to everyone here from Bangalore that this city has a very enabling culture for startups. There are all kinds of things available, from IISc to NCPS. There's a whole ecosystem where you can actually go, you can use their laboratories. There are world-class facilities, and they're very accessible. You don't, if you have a good project and a good team, you don't have to pay anything. And the kind of culture one saw in the West Coast and in the Boston area, etc., in terms of having angel investor support, VC support, incubator type support, accelerator type support is very much available in the city. And I would encourage everyone here from Bangalore to sort of look into this and avail of this. You don't need a lot of resources necessarily to become an entrepreneur. I and some others co-founded a charity some years ago called Social Venture Partners. It's affectionately called SVP. It's in different parts of the world, but we set it up in Bangalore, and now there are chapters in Bombay and Pune and so forth. And we give grants for essentially to fund ventures which help with livelihoods. And this young girl, she must be 26, 27, doesn't really have personal resources in terms of financial resources. She set up a company called Mitti. Mitti means soil in Indian languages. And it basically runs canteens in universities and in corporate houses, employing, except for the cook, everyone is differently abled. So they're sort of people with different physical handicaps work there. And it has been incredibly successful. We gave her a grant, then we wanted to give her another grant, but she didn't need it because her business model breaks even very quickly. I think it's a great story. It's been reported in the media as well. We also had a couple of kids from IIT Madras, IIT Chennai, doing deep learning. And they're using deep learning basically to automate how you read MRIs and PET scans and so forth. And we, in my office, we basically gifted them a fast computer, which is what they needed, and office space for about 18 months. And now they're funded. They're funded actually by a VC that invests in socially relevant projects. It's actually out of Seattle with a Microsoft kind of heritage. And now they're well funded and the company has taken off. So these are two examples of very young people with an idea, with a small team, who really had no personal resources. But everything is possible if you have a dream and perseverance. I'll tell you another little story. Many years back, I didn't really know how to raise money. So I was talking to this friend of mine called MJ Arvind, who ran a VC firm called Artiman Ventures. They're what are called white space investors. They invest in sort of futuristic ideas. And he said, if you come to the office, I'll make a presentation on what VCs talk after you guys leave the room. Yeah. So you have a small team. You go and pitch to the VC that you're going to make all this money over 5 years and whatever. And then when you leave, they sort of have a conversation. And the things they look for, and I'm sure this is true for most people who fund entrepreneurs, the first thing they look for, probably the first three things they look for, are team, team, and team. They're really investing not in your project, but in your team. So I would say from personal experience as well to anyone here, that when you set up a company and look for money, people are going to fund the team much more so than the project. Because the project might fail or the environment might change. But if you have a good team, they will survive, they will have perseverance, they will start a new project, and they'll still make money for the investor. So to me, this has been a great learning. Whatever little we've been able to achieve actually is a credit to our team. And some of us go back 20 years when I was running Quintiles. There are, of course, new people who have joined. But to me, it's all about teamwork. Thanks for listening to me. It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Always of great interest to me very close to my heart because it concerns the youth, the next gen, as we call them. This category we have here is the Outstanding Young Professional or Entrepreneur of the Year. And the award winner this year is Mr. Zerik Hosi Dastur. Zerik was born in Mumbai and comes from a priestly family. He studied in New Activity School and St. Xavier's Boys Academy in Mumbai. He then went on to graduate from HR College in Mumbai and did his law from the Government Law College in Mumbai. So all in all, he's a genuine Amchi Mumbai person. Zerik, all throughout his school and college career, has been a merit scholar and in the process has won several medals and awards. He's been a triple gold medalist from Mumbai University. Zerik also established his own law firm and practices in the field of dispute resolution, arbitration, antitrust, and competition law. Zerik has represented clients in domestic and international commercial arbitration matters and has acted for clients on mergers, acquisitions, and other transactional and regulatory matters. Needless to say, Zerik has appeared before various courts, tribunals, state to supreme, and has been involved in civil, criminal, and regulatory, that's government matters, including fraud and scam. I think Zerik is a complete legal package we have in our community. I know firsthand that Zerik is a prolific writer because I do read his articles every week. He writes on all aspects of law in our local newspapers and publications, and I honestly wonder if Avra Mazda has been a little partial to him by giving him 36 hours in a day instead of just 24 hours that he has given us. I don't know how he can manage so much in such a short time. What is great about this young gentleman is that in spite of his busy schedule, Zerik finds time to devote his energy and effort towards various social causes and endeavors to help the community in all possible manner. And I know this firsthand because today, just before lunch, but after our morning sessions, he stepped out without having lunch to go down and meet somebody in the reception to help somebody out in need. Whilst we all ate lunch and were coming back, I found Zerik walking back without lunch, going in to see if there's some food left for him. That is the devotion and commitment he has. Quite frankly, when you come across a young member of our community like Zerik, all our fears of what will happen to our dwindling Zarthusti community. Su thase apru, su bachao karse, what are the young generations up to? They are always out playing. We don't see them working. All those fears, ladies and gentlemen, should vanish. And the community should get re-energized once again with hope and prosperity. I honestly feel our future is in good and great hands. So, ladies and gentlemen, for his meteoric rise in the legal profession, his selfless service to the community, and his unstinting devotion to the professional ethics, WZCC is proud to present the Outstanding Young Professional Entrepreneur of the Year to Mr. Zerik Dastur. Zerik, where are you? Right at the end. Dr. Garland, one more time, please.
They say there's no better way to exercise your imagination than the study of law. No artist can interpret nature as freely as a lawyer would interpret a document. An award like this, which I have received today, which is a great honor and privilege, serves two fundamental purposes. One, it is a recognition of your efforts over a period of time. And not only your own efforts, but the efforts of all those who have stood behind you and paved the path for you, your friends, your family, your parents, without whom this would not be possible. Those who are in the background and selflessly strive to create a situation where you can go out and perform. It is a recognition for their efforts as well. The second thing that an award like this achieves is that it serves as a source of motivation and inspiration to strive even harder, to strive for greater heights, to compete with yourself, and to look at a better future prospect, improving as the time goes by. 2017 has been a year of change for me. Through my legal career, right from my internship days, I used to be with a national level law firm, which is J. Sagar Associates, which has over 300 lawyers, presence across cities in India. And this year, after a long and fruitful relationship, I decided to part ways with JSA and start off on my own and set up my own individual practice in my own name. And my association with JSA was fantastic. I mean, there was great business, great clientele, great matters. We look forward for a day where every youth in this community will say that my extra baggage is coming on the next flight. So my association with JSA was fantastic, but I still wanted to step one step further and do something on my own. And yes, there were a lot of questions. Will I be able to retain the same clientele, the same business? What will happen of the finances? Will I be able to sustain the team which has come forward with me in my new venture? And I had the answer in the form of self-belief that if I continued with the same energy and enthusiasm, I knew deep in my heart that I will achieve reasonable success. And today, as I stand before you, I can say with conviction that my decision was the right one. The youth, since this award represents the category of youth, I do have a message for the youth. Do not be afraid to dream. Do not be afraid to give wings to your passion. I knew a friend in Mumbai whose mother wanted him to become a doctor, whose father wanted him to become an engineer, but he wanted something completely different. He wanted to indulge in the study of archaeology. And after a lot of deliberation, he did take that step, and today he is very happy. Do not be afraid to do something which is unconventional, which is not the norm, which is not the standard practice. You can be a trendsetter in yourself. Money, success, fame will all follow, but they cannot be the driving force. They cannot be the determining factors. All these factors will always be there. They'll be directly proportional to your success. All I can say is keep dreaming, keep aspiring, keep achieving. Who says the sky is the limit when there are footprints on the moon? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our award ceremony. And I'd like to close with this remark that the genes of our community is not there just to excel in raising or donating large sum of money. It has always been our ability to ensure that the person next to us can be helped, can be elevated, and can become successful in life. So we should all be grateful for what we have got truly as a jewel in our Zartusti tradition. You guys are part of it. You guys endeavor towards it. So give yourself a round of applause, and thank you for attending this award ceremony. I always believe that we have 4 tenets in our religion: good thoughts, good words, good deeds, and of course, good food. So I wish you well for the rest of the evening. Enjoy yourself.